Yes, hello everybody, my arms are flailing wildly. Is that part of this video? No, it's not. So this is a little video all about class totals. As a lot you know, over the space of the last 6 months, there have been new champions in this game, hence the name Marvel Contest of Champions, where they add in new champions, 2 on a monthly basis. Unless we're talking about December, where you only get 1. Yes, I don't make up the rules, that's Kabam's job. But it does mean that there are a total number of champions that come into the game under specific classes. And it's interesting to note where we are with different classes on volumes and numbers, and where certain classes are weaker based on less number of champions coming in. So let's begin. The last time I returned back to this particular video was in October of 2021. Now it's been several months since that particular video, and I wanted to have a look at the totals, and as well you can get an idea from here. And I did want to get this out before, so it probably will be the second video Thursday. I want to get this out before the classes are revealed for Misty Knight and Sam Wilson Captain America, because those will be the change of things, like whether or not they're going to be skill or whether or not they're going to be tech, which I in some ways have factored into this particular video. And it's important to note because it could be really beneficial for those that are tech, but also could be just standard helpful to those that are skill on the totals. In any case, shape or form, over the past several months, when I did the last video, which was October time, I want to say, we've since then had Anti-Venom, Null, Cersei, Icarus, Kraven, Toad, and Sauron, giving a, let's just say, the expected bump to Cosmic. At the end of the day, I do understand it's a difficult thing from Kabam's perspective, because they are driven by what Marvel say as to how they classify certain champions. And let's face it, we've still got tons more Marvel characters that are basically cosmic entities to be added into the game. From Marvel, we've got Captain America, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Adam Warlock, the Stranger, if he gets put in, the what is it called? The Gladiator, Oblivion. We've got Thanos, Celestials, they won't come in. Null, we've got Phoenix Force, well, we kind of got in some way, shape or form. Lord Chaos, I mean, I'm just going to pluck your names out. But you get the idea. Eternity, Living Tribunal, but that's a bit too powerful. The Beyonder. No, we're not going to have that. One above, no, we're not going to have any of that. But basically, in a nutshell, we could see a lot more cosmic entities coming to the game. Anything Guardians of the Galaxy related, anything associated with anything outer planetary, anything around, like, out of Earth. And let's face it, that is just a large portion of the Marvel universe. So still, with all those characters yet to come into the game, it does put us into a 42 cosmic volume based on all the characters that are playable characters within Marvel Contest of Champions. So that's an incredible amount. With having those kind of 3 towards the latter point of the year, you know, we had in July, we had Hercules. In October time we had Null. In November time we had Icarus and Cersei. It just really bumped up those cosmic numbers to 42. There's also tons of opportunity to have mutants, and mutants are in the same position of cosmics. There is more mutants to shake a stick at. At the end of the day, there is so many different types of comic book lines, arcs, characters, small parts, big parts, and still more to come as we evolve and take in different comic book stories going into the future. You're going to see more mutants created, and especially more chance of that to be in Marvel Contest of Champions. And very much hot on the heels of Cosmic Champions are mutants with 39. That's the second highest class totalage based on playable champions in this game, even considering the likes of Weapon X, which had a big influx in December of being a playable character, especially going from that kind of like Legends run type classification, which, hey, as again, sad for those that put all the effort in to get Weapon X, and now finding that everybody just got them out of a great gifting crystal. 2021, in any case, for Mystics was a bit of a mixed bag. And looking at having Mangog into the game, Scarlet Witch Sigil is a bit of a difficult one to sell the community because it is trapped behind a paywall, and that's a problem. That's kind of like look, Summon Sigil needed something of a bit of value. For someone that used to spend on that, it needed to have something of value, and this was good to add in because it kind of created value and an interest. But at the same time, not everybody can get it. And that's a problem with some Scarlet Witch Sigil. I like her, but it's very specific for the community. Especially putting out content for it. It's like, well, I'm only kind of like putting that out for a very low percentage. And I've made, I think, about like 2 videos in Scarlet Witch Sigil, but it's like, well, not everybody can get her. Purgatory is a good champion, and so is America Chavez, but I think it just falls into that kind of realms of popularity. And a lot of those 2 characters is that it's good for America Chavez to be in, especially with the release of the Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness, where she makes an appearance. Purgatory is a Kabam created character. Design-wise, perfect. Love the look of it. Champion-wise, well, it's hit and miss. And MCOC came at a time where I think popularity around other characters have kind of meant that these fall by the wayside. So having that really kind of high-hitting, I don't know, popular mystic character it needs to be in. And that's why I really hope we get Wong and maybe Doctor Strange evil version, bad version, I don't know what to really kind of like call it, like alternate or something, variant even. And if you've seen my puzzle video, you know that like that is my prediction, to see like the dark, I don't know, Doctor Strange Dark, so to speak. And as well, having Wong in would be absolutely just amazing. The reason I say that is that look, the Mystic line is at 33 champions. It is by far, and we're going to see what the final totals are comparing all of them together, one of the lowest, if not the lowest, when it comes to characters, even though it had that bump of in 2021 adding in 4 champions. Again, iffy one to kind of like pitch the fact the Scarlet Witch Sigil, but it still factors into the numbers. The skill line did get a bump last year with Shang-Chi, Kraven and Jabari Panther, but still falls at a respectable amount. And that's been the thing. There's been a lot of skill champions being put in, but when we're looking at the likes of Misty Knight and Cat Wilson being put in, like what it could do, bump up to 37. And that's something just to kind of like to frame. And that is that we don't know where they're going to fall in. If they're going to be skill or they're going to be tech. There's always this kind of like blurred lines with stuff. Like Crossbones essentially has tech, but he is a skill. Falcon definitely uses tech, but is a skill. And the same argument could be like, well, Star-Lord, he has tech. Shouldn't he be a skill like anything else? So I'm just, rather than kind of going, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, putting it up to potentially one or the other, I think is probably the best way to kind of cover this and frame this. And finishing off with tech. Tech's got Penny Parker, Nimrod, as well as Silver Centurion, Psycho Man added in 2021, so like a year. And then we're kind of looking at the situation again with Misty and Sam Wilson, Captain America, where it's either going to be 35 or it's going to be spread between like 34 to tech and then, you know, 1 to over to skill. So just don't know. So this is how I make the totals up, and I had to be very careful with this. I'm sure there's probably, I think in my last video when I did this, I made a mistake with the numbers. I'm not 100% sure with that. It's just, there's so many things with these spreadsheets and kind of getting the numbers together that, you know, it may be wrong, it may be right, but I kind of feel this is good enough coverage, saying that it's close to 100, there's 217 playable champions in Marvel Contest of Champions. But we're looking at this situation of, it's either going to be, well, definitely that's 42 to Cosmic, it's 39 to Mutant, it's 34 to Science, it's 33 to Mystic. Skill got 35, Tech got 33. Now, this is going to be the bump, isn't it? Either way, Mystic are quite low. They're low as the same amount as Tech, but they're either going to get a bump by 2 or they're going to get a bump by 1, the same way that Skill is either going to get a bump by 1 or a bump by 2, depending on what's going to happen. Maybe we'll get release notes on Friday. At the point of recording this video, I don't have any release notes. Kabam haven't given it to the CCP, so we'll have to see when that will be. It'll probably be so close to like the Friday like release of 10 AM PST, or it's going to be saved. Who ruddy knows at this stage. But it's interesting to note where we are with this. And I really hope over this year that we see bumps to things like Mystic, we see bumps to Science, and we definitely see a bump to Tech. Tech is definitely one of the weaker lines, especially because looking at the buff situation, we do need to go back to buffing old champions, and there's lots of techs that need to be given a bit of love or a tune-up to make them, number one, more interesting for players to use, because Kabam can talk about balance systems as much as possible. They never seem to mention the volume of players that play certain champions. I would love to know on a daily basis, other than Arena, how many times Psycho Man gets played, how many times Super Skrull gets played, how many times that any champion that you have not ranked up gets played, because as we all know, those should be the starting point for for kind of like buffing up and making like the best that they could possibly be. I mean, you could have a quick kind of like scout around right here, right down to the bottom of champions I haven't ranked up for whatever reason and gone, okay, right, well, why am I not playing them? Why don't Kabam consider them to be some of the top ones that need to be ranked up? Why hasn't Classic Spider-Man been had a look into him because he is a main character? No, it's all about the newer ones that got to rank up or ramp up. Rocket, why hasn't Rocket been looked into? Why hasn't Ant-Man been looked into? And those particular ones right there. But in any case, that's not about this particular kind of like video. And I would say as well, there are tons of characters that can be put in to bump those totals up. Relations to Doctor Doom, I think the daughter of Doctor Doom, the mother of Doctor Doom, which is a mystic character, Wiccan, to name but a few, Morgan Le Fay. There's so many. We could have Black Cat, which we've talked about as a potential option in the future to kind of fill a skill line. We've got loads of cosmic champions, but that's maybe not it. Captain Britain would be a debatable mystic, so there's tons to fill up the lines and tons to kind of bring them up. So yeah, that would be cool to see. And loads of science ones based on Spider-Verse villains. We still haven't had Scorpion, but that should be something hopefully coming this year. Sandman, which I think has been alluded to before. Lizard has been something I think Kabam have said about. And yeah, Spider-Woman, loads. That was in the Summoner's Choice, so possibly not. But there's tons to fill out those particular classes, and it doesn't have to be all the same, like double cosmic months or kind of like it's always going to be cosmic. That's why it's great that Quicksilver won, because it bumps up the science line. I just hope that Kabam don't kind of have a look at that too much in the rebalance system, because that's a load of fun, isn't it? In any case, that has been the video. What are your thoughts on the totals of the various different types of classes? And links in the description to the places you can find that particular information. And I'll see you in the next video. Make sure as well to check out some other content, which is located on screen right about now. And I'll see you in the next video whenever that may be. Tatty byes for now. Bye bye.